Regis de Villanueva for WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
At Seacoast Air Conditioning, they believe in 3 basic fundamentals: answer the phone, show up on time, and fix the problem right the first time. Seacoast Air, family owned and operated since 1982, waiting to answer your call 24/7.
Comfort crisis, don't roast, call Seacoast.
If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you're encouraged to like and share them on social media because it's all about caring. In fact, the science of caring, Careology, hosted by your friend Roxy.
Hello everyone. Welcome on this Tuesday. If you're in your car and you're driving, please be careful. If this is your first time tuning in with us, my name is Roxy, and this is Careology, the science of caring, and we are a subsidiary of CareBag Incorporated, a nonprofit here on the Treasure Coast. And what we do is very simple. We provide access to proper hygiene to those in our community. If it is through our mobile hygiene pantry, if it is through our pantry at our office, if it's through our mobile showers, we just provide it, and we do the best that we can. Those of you who are tuning in on Facebook, we are going to go live in just a second. We forgot all about you. But those that are listening, we are just thankful that you are here. And if you're new to Careology, we are the science of caring. We talk to nonprofits, we talk to businesses in our local area, and we find out what they're doing for our community, what resources we have, and how we can give back to our community. We are not an island. We work together, we collaborate together, we partner together. That's what makes our nonprofits here on the Treasure Coast so exciting to work with. We just are not standing alone. There's so many of us. And I'm excited about tonight's show. I'm still getting a lot of comments about our last week's show about vaping. I learned so much, and that's the first time we had a lot of visual effects. Wouldn't you agree, Cliff?
Well, the jars with the teeth that have gone tobacco gooey, and a model of a piece of a lung and what it looks like.
Well, thank you, Jesus. My lungs and my teeth are good, so I'm thankful for that. But I'm excited. Now, the guest I have is not really a guest to me, but she's going to be a guest to you. This is Alexandria Slaton. I call her Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm I don't know, a little nervous, a little surreal.
Well, I just want to let you know, if anyone could see me, I am really grinning. Alex is our VP of CareBag Incorporated, and she is also the owner of Speed Pro Imaging North Palm Beach. And if anyone has seen our beautiful trailers, their company went ahead and they're the ones that wrapped it for us and did a beautiful job. We get a lot of comments on it from our graphic artist, Anna Marie Wachowski, and also with Speed Pro. So they did our wrap on both of our trailers, and it looks beautiful. And as a board member, I've never seen her this quiet. So I am truly enjoying this. We might take this to 8 o'clock, Cliff. Just me and you alone in the dark with Alex.
It's kind of scary out here at night, though.
It's all right. You got me. We're okay. We're okay. Well, I want to say a happy birthday to my hubby, Mr. Junior. Today's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Junior.
Well, wait a minute.
21 years old, Mr. Junior Brown.
I thought it was your birthday today.
No, my
that's
birthday
later.
is
That's
May
right.
23rd. For anybody that wants to know and that loves giving birthdays, I'm May 23rd. Next to Memorial Weekend. Almost to Memorial Weekend.
That's just a couple days after mine.
That's right. You're the May 20th.
Yeah, we'll
how
do
is
the
that a
cake
coincidence? This is how we let people know, just by coincidence. But we want to say happy birthday to Junior. He keeps me grounded, or he tries to. 20-something years, and he has had a really hard job.
Wow.
trying to keep us grounded with me.
Okay.
I'm just going to be honest with that. So I'm not an easy person to deal with. So I appreciate him and love him to death. But Alex, your sister's birthday would have been yesterday. Would be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yep.
tomorrow.
My sister, Jerica, would have been 40 tomorrow.
Okay.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. And my other girlfriend, Michelle, her birthday's tomorrow. I have quite a few people's birthday tomorrow. But we're going to talk a little bit about Jerica. Our show is for the love of Jerica. And our topic we're going to be talking about is something that is taking over our country, taking over the world. But we're going to talk about our country and our community right now. And that is the opioid overdose crisis that we're having in our country. And everyone knows research, that's my venture, that's what I love to do. And in 2019, nearly 50,000 people almost died from the opioid involved overdoses. So I'm going to say that again. 50,000 souls in 2019 died from involved opioid involvement. And I think one is too much. 50,000 is inconceivable. 50,000 shouldn't happen.
Well, and I just want to clarify, this is the Alex that Roxy knows.
Alex is back, everybody.
And to be specific with opioids, it's prescription pills, heroin, synthetics like fentanyl, and so it's a very specific set of drugs that we're talking about that those 50,000 people died from, not to mention every other drug, alcohol, all of the other variables that plague people with addiction. And so that number, if you look at addiction as a whole.
Our mic. Yeah, we're not hearing.
Oh.
See, yeah, we're not hearing. I'm just talking to Cliff. For those that missed us, sorry about that. This is live, so anything can happen when we're live. But that is, I think that's too many. And I did a little research, and I asked myself, how did this happen? And from the pharmaceutical companies, would you agree?
I think a lot of times, specifically with opioids, that's where it starts. I can't say. So for those of you obviously listening, my sister Jerica, that would have been 40 tomorrow, she passed away from a relapse. Well, let me backtrack. She was 2.5 years clean, living here in St. Lucie. It's where she got clean. And she relapsed on January 1st, and she overdosed on heroin with fentanyl. And, she didn't start out, obviously, on heroin. Like, people don't. To your point, it's prescription drugs typically. Not always, but a lot of times. And whether it's, she started when she was 18, just experimenting with friends. And the disease of addiction, which I want to earmark that it's a disease.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of stigma. A lot of people think it's a choice.
And it's not.
And it isn't. But it's progressive, right? It's progressive. And so, whether it's someone that's 18 that's experimenting, whether it's someone that gets injured and has to take pain pills because of their pain, right? They physically need it. It's prescribed to them. A lot of times that's what leads to, someone not being able to stop.
So let me ask you, how long was Jerica clean?
She was clean 2.5 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. It was a long time. And I mean, when I think about watching, so I'm 2 years younger than her. So now everybody knows how old I am. But when I think about watching my older sister from the time she was 18 for 20 years struggle, and until you've watched someone go through this disease, it's hard to understand. And I think that's one of the reasons why this was so important to me, because people don't understand what these chemicals, whether it's to the drugs or alcohol, what they do to your body, how they change the chemistry of your brain. And you're not dealing with the same person.
No. And they will do whatever they have to do once they're addicted, because like you said, it's a disease. So I just want to clarify something. Some people may go ahead and use it recreational starting out, but there are a lot of people through surgeries, through different things, get hooked and get on this, make it a disease, because these are very addictive. Drugs are very addictive. Yeah. Especially for pain. So I'm going to go ahead and tell my story. I had surgery. And I was put on morphine and tramadol. Morphine and tramadol I was actually allergic to. So they had ended up putting me on Petadine. This is in England, so it's basically it's the same thing here. And I, just from the surgery, because I was in so much pain, getting off of that was the hardest thing I had to do. I am so afraid. If something is wrong and I have to take pain medication, I get so scared. Because I realized even though I wasn't a controlled substance, even though a year later when I should have been better, because my body fed off of it, that's what I had to use to get up, to get ready to function. Without it, it felt like my body couldn't function. And you had to, I think I was, because of where I worked and what I did, I already saw the sign. And I knew what it was, so I knew how to go ahead and handle it, with family support. But this was just off of trying to be comfortable, trying to be in a space where you're in pain, so now you're comfortable, and that's what you did. So I normally don't do that, but I will open the phone lines today. So if you want to call in at 772-340-1590, and you have a question, you have a comment, because this affects everyone. And this is a story. We wanted Alex here because I know there's so many people listening that you may have that same story. Your story might not be like Alex's story, but it is your story. And it's an important story. And especially if you've lost someone to this, it doesn't affect just one person. It affects the whole community. It affects your family. It affects your friends. It just affects everyone. And if we're not talking about this as a society and as a community, we can't start to heal. We can't start to fix it. So Alex, first of all, thank you for just opening yourself to share your story, because a lot of people can't do that. I've never walked in your shoes, but I just can't imagine how that is. But how are you doing, and how are you coping with everything since January?
Well, I mean, it's been tough. I mean, so the one thing I didn't share is our father, Jerica and my father, he passed away December 28th from heart failure. And he was in home hospice care for the month of December. Jerica lived with my parents. And so, my mother, she is still here. And
Abuela.
Yeah.
Her mom is so sweet.
Yeah, she's still here. And I mean, having my father die on a Monday, and then having my sister pass away on a Friday, I mean,
sometimes we use the word, sometimes it's too much, but there has to be a word for too much, because sometimes things happen in your life where it passes too much. And that's a situation. Too much.
I think it's, with my father, we knew it was coming. With my sister, I mean, it was
sudden.
In shock. I mean, never would have expected it. She did a lot with the NA community. She was very involved. She even started a meeting on Saturday nights under the Jensen Beach Causeway. I mean, she was
involved in a community.
Yeah, I mean, she really helped a lot of people that I didn't know, but she helped a lot of people get clean, stay clean. If you needed a ride to a meeting, she was the one that would take you there. It didn't matter where you lived. And so was I worried about her? Yeah. Was I able to even fathom this was going to happen? No. And, a lot of times, people, there's the chemical dependency from surgeries and that type of thing. But I mean, why do people use drugs? Why do people drink, right? It's a lot of times it's to numb the pain. The pain is so much that I just want to escape it for 5 minutes, right? And do I think that she knew that that was going to happen? No, absolutely not. Do I think, I mean, and here's the other thing that I want to say is it didn't happen somewhere in like a street corner or in a dark alley. For those of you that live in St. Lucie County, I mean, it happened in Lake Charles. Like she was at a friend's house in Lake Charles.
We don't have any darkened corners here.
Right. Well, I mean, compared.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
it's like it's
what most people may think. What happened to somebody laying on a street corner under the train? No,
I mean, what you see in movies or TV,
No.
like it happened in a neighborhood, in a gated community, in a neighborhood. You know, and hopefully people don't freak out because I said that, but it's, you know, like it's our neighbors.
Oh no, we no, don't apologize, Cliff. We like to freak people out because this is a place for resources.
They need to be shaken.
Yeah, they need to, because the opioid crisis, this is serious.
Yeah, and
so we want to shake them up.
But it happened in broad daylight. It happened at like 3:00 in the afternoon, and so it's one of those things where I know that every single person listening, every single person in our community has been touched in one way or another by addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, gambling, pornography, you name it, right?
Somebody's being touched by it.
Somebody that people know someone that knows someone, people are affected by it, and nobody's talking about it. It's and I don't understand how we can pretend like it's not happening.
Well, we talk about it at Careology. So we're going to take a break in a minute, but I just want to put something out there. Roughly 21 to 29% of patients are prescribed opioids for chronic pain. So that's something I want someone to think of. This is not something you're just getting on a street corner. A lot of people are prescribed, and these are potent drugs. That's what they are. Because if you were supposed to buy it on a street corner, you'd be arrested. It'll be a felony. So I want you to think about it. 21 to 29% of individuals are prescribed opioids, and between 8 to 12% of people using opioids develop an opioid addiction. So 8 to 12% of those individuals get an opioid addiction. So what are we doing as a community about it? We're going to talk about it and hear more of Jerica's story from her sister Alex as soon as we come back. Stay tuned. If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Why call two men in a truck of the Treasure Coast? You want to move your business without moving a single meeting? You want it handled with no fuss. Lots of stuff, no time to move it. You need the pros that care. That's why you call two men in a truck of the Treasure Coast. Family owned and operated franchise. Call 772-236-0827. 772-236-0827. Movers who care. Visit Two Men in a Truck, TreasureCoast.com. How would you like to win a Lexus UX200 with taxes paid? No car payment. That sounds terrific. Go to givecarebag.com. All proceeds go to help our local nonprofit CareBag Incorporated, where they provide access to proper hygiene to those in our community in need. We also have 2 additional prizes. Go to givecarebag.com to find out how you could win a beautiful 2021 Lexus UX200. No lease, taxes paid.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
And now back to Careology with Roxy.
Welcome back to Careology. If you just tuned in, or if you are new to Careology on WPSL 1590, welcome. My name is Roxy. I'm the CEO and founder of CareBag Incorporated. But before we get back to our discussion with Alex Slaton here. Our show is dedicated to the love of Jerica, and I know we have cousins and sisters watching and listening from Georgia, from the UK, and we want to say, not because Alex is here that you just watch. We hope you come back next Tuesday at 6:05. They're on our Facebook, so we're waving at them. You can wave, Alex. You just heard our commercial, so thank you, Treasure Coast Lexus. We have I need to be careful of what I'm saying. We have a 2021 Lexus UX 200. If you are interested in participating in our drawing, which is going to be December 17th for the car, but we also have 2 drawings coming up. One, June the 17th, for a propane grill, and the other one, a drawing, is September 17th for a JVC 55-inch 4K TV, smart TV, and all of that is included. You can get more information just by going to givecarebag.com, and you can find our rules, regulations for the drawing. Everything benefits CareBag Incorporated, so that we can continue to provide access, proper hygiene and proper access to our community members, people that are living in our community that are in desperate need for the simple basic things in life: deodorant, Pampers, soap, shower gel, a razor, Band-Aids. We had our office open today, and the amount of individuals that wanted simple things as a Band-Aid or ointment. Most of us just go to our cabinet if we have Band-Aids that have been there so long until we can't even use them. But there's some people who don't have. Simple thing as a box of tissue and toilet paper is so valuable, and I'm proud to be part of an organization that can do that and assist our community. So if you're tuning in with us and you got excited about the car, don't turn the dial, because we are excited about this conversation that we're having. You can call into the station if you have a comment or you have a question or you just want to talk about anything that is affecting you. And remember that we had New Horizons on. So if you are suffering, please call 211. Get with New Horizons. It is free. They will come to your home. They will have a conversation with you. There are so many resources here. Take advantage of it. Do not sit in your house alone. Do not sit in silence and suffer, because that's why we are here. So back to our conversation. I had someone here that has a question for you. And it is from Jet, and he says, how do you feel about Columbia University professor Carl Hart, who openly supports heroin use and says that it helps him maintain a proper work-life balance?
I mean,
how?
I'm speechless.
Both of us.
Yeah.
If anyone knows us, they know that's
I
rare.
mean, I feel like that is an incredibly just egregious use of his platform as a professor
with young minds
at a respected university. I mean, first of all, I want to know, what was his name?
Jet.
No.
Professor Carl Hart.
What I would love to ask Professor Carl is how many people he knows, where's the data, that can and have used heroin in any type of appropriate way to create work-life balance compared to the amount of deaths and overdose that there have been. And I also want to know how this person like can use. I mean, I'm like outraged, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, but
that's part two. Alex part two.
Alex outraged. The kids like to call it Savage Alex.
Savage Alex.
So, but yeah, you have a professor, a teacher, someone who's there to educate people. And I mean, when I went to school, which, was not that long ago, I feel like for the most part, school is there to educate people on facts, right? Empirical facts, not based on emotion. So, I mean, I'm just completely appalled that anybody, but let alone someone at a respected university would say something like that. And then how many people are going to use that type of just false information, and how many people are going to die
Behind
because
that.
someone is flippantly talking about how they have work-life balance. I mean, come on.
Okay, so Alex said that really nice. I'm going to say bollocks to you. That's an English term, bollocks. So that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I believe Jet, he needs to be stripped of his license. The school needs to fire him. He does not need to work around any young people again, because this is my show, so I get to say that. I don't think you should be standing on a platform in front of young, impressionable minds that are listening to you, and you want to talk about heroin that makes you day by day you can function. You're an addict. You need help. That's our Jet. That's my opinion on it right there. Go ahead, Cliff. I see you ready.
Well, it makes you kind of wonder. Is he using his own experiments at home to make these determinations?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We're going to look into that.
That sounds like an addict.
That sounds like an
addict. Your body tricks you.
Yeah.
Your body will hurt wherever it wants to get you to get
it
back
will.
into that opioid.
Mm-hmm. So if cigarettes are this, we did cigarettes last week with vaping. If that is so addictive, just imagine opioid.
Well, I want to make this relatable to, so think about caffeine, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many people, when they stop drinking caffeine, whether
Headaches.
it's coffee or soda, they get headaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
How many people have ever tried to stop eating sugar and they go through a sugar withdrawal?
For those that can't see me on TV land, my hand is raised.
And so now let's talk about your phones.
Mm-hmm.
People go if they go to the bathroom without their phone, people go through withdrawals, or if they don't go on social media. So we have these vices that, sugar, obviously there's long-term health effects, right? Sodas, too much caffeine, you name it. Even obviously the social media, the anxiety, like all the stuff that comes with it. People struggle with stopping or withdrawing from that. And we're talking about substances that chemically change the makeup of your brain. Like they change your physiology. And it changes the way your brain works. Literally, people go through withdrawals because your body is telling you, if you don't get the drug, you're going to die.
You're going to die.
And someone is saying, I heard something. I don't know.
That was me. I touched you. Everyone's okay. It's okay. The house is not on fire.
So let me throw out some St. Lucie County statistics, and I do want to give a shout out to Commissioner Linda Bartz and to Assistant Chief Rich Del Toro for helping me with these statistics, because I want to make sure that everybody understands just here in our community. But in January through April this year, so far, April this year, we've had 100 overdoses.
Yeah.
100. So it's 25 a month in St. Lucie County, right?
Yeah, we have, just for anyone to know, Commissioner Linda Bartz heads up the opioid crisis for St. Lucie County. I actually sit on that commission there, if you didn't know.
Yes. And along with Assistant Chief Richard Del Toro,
yes.
And other agencies, and their goal is to create an action plan on how do we stop this from happening, because it's happening every day. But that's overdoses. In 2020, there were 900 overdoses. 900. And thankfully, if you've never heard of Narcan, all of our officers carry that with them.
We actually carry Narcan at Care Bag.
Because we deal,
because we deal with the homeless.
And
go ahead, Alex.
They were able to reverse 94% of those 900 overdoses. So 168 people, were not able to be saved, right? So my sister will be a statistic of not being able to be saved for this year, for 2021.
So just hold that thought. So you said 900.
900 overdoses last year in St. Lucie County.
Okay, so 900 overdoses for 2020 means that every day from January 1st to December 31st, we had 2 people that died every day. from an overdose. That is somebody's mother, father, daughter, son. We need to take this seriously. We need to have a conversation. No one wants to have a conversation. So every time Alex tells you something, I'm going to come out there because I love numbers. That's 2 people every day that did not have to die because of this. So we need to pay attention. Give us some more numbers.
And so it's increased 33% since COVID.
Yeah.
Right. And so and here's the other thing is this is the reported stuff. This is what we know. Like, we all know that this is not all that's happening.
No, that's
right?
not
like,
it.
We know that. And everybody knows somebody that, people aren't reporting anything.
No.
And, well, that's not true. People are
reporting some.
But everything is not being reported.
Right.
Right. So these are just the numbers that we know of. And
because if somebody's taking opioids and opioids, thank you. If someone is taking opioids and they have an overdose and they go to the hospital, but they have a heart attack or they have a stroke and they die, their death certificate will say heart attack or stroke.
Mm-hmm.
When it was what caused it wouldn't be the contributing factor to their death. So these are that's why we don't have all the numbers. Go ahead, Mrs. Slayton.
So what else? I'm just like.
Yeah, those numbers.
I'm still stuck on our professor. So
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jet, for making her tongue tied.
No.
But the point is, people need to know there are people out there that actually think that.
Right, and here's the other thing is, people, family members, right, are dealing with this. I can't tell you. The struggle, like with my sister, being arrested, right? Going to jail, her, not having a place to live, her not having money for food, right? And so as a family member, what addiction does to families, what it does to the mothers, the fathers, the wives, the husbands, the children, right? I've gone to these NA meetings and there are people that their families have just completely
they
cut
don't know
them
what
off,
to do because
or they've lost their children. And obviously, I am the first to say that someone needs to get help, right? People need to get clean.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about the effects, not just to the addict, but to the family, the long-term effects.
It just doesn't affect the person.
No.
It affects the whole nucleus of the family, and then it affects the community.
Well, because it's like it's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's so much shame wrapped up in this, and that's why it's been so important for me to talk about it, because I don't want anybody to feel like they can't share what's going on, because that's where the power is shining the light into that darkness, is calling it for what it is, so then people can talk about it in a way where, okay, what can we do about this? How can we help people? How can we help those who are struggling today? Every day it's happening. And unfortunately, if we don't actually start doing something different and not just casting them out, not just saying, well, it's their choice, or, well, they know better. People typically don't just want to destroy their lives.
No, they
right?
don't.
People don't typically just want to be homeless. People don't typically want to lose their jobs. They don't want to lose their families. They don't want to go to jail.
Oh, so I'm about to get you fired up, because right now, the quiet Alex is gone. You see that, right, Cliff? So I'm going to get everybody fired up right now.
Okay, you're going to get them to go totally Roxy?
No, we can't handle Roxy here at WPS. No, we can't handle that. But his name, I said Hart. My pronunciation, his last name is Hart, H-A-R-T. But he's a tenured professor, and he just released a book for 2021 that says Drug Use for Grown-Ups.
Like alcohol, you mean?
Are you joking? Are you joking? I'm not even, as much as I would want to hear what he has to say, I wouldn't waste my dime to get the book, because I don't want to support you.
Well, here's the thing is I am more than happy to have a conversation with anybody. Because clearly there are people like him who have a belief. And part of the conversation is, why do you think that? Why do you feel that way? What facts do you have around it? And then please help me understand. And how can you look at all these other people in the face who've had loved ones die, who their lives have been ruined, children whose parents are in jail, or, orphans? I mean, like, how can you tell me that there's moderation? I mean, the very definition of an addict, I mean, there is no moderation. In these drugs, there is no moderation.
Well, on Facebook we have Carlina Martinez.
She's my sister from England.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Hi, Carlina. I don't know where you are in England, but I lived in England. I loved it. I don't know where. Do you know where she's at?
Oh, she's oh shoot, she's somewhere near Doncaster.
She'll let me know. Me and Carlene will talk. But Carlene says it best. He might be a professor, but that doesn't mean that he's basically not an addict. They're functioning addicts. So let's make it clear. They're functioning addicts. There are addicts that know just what to take
And they
to
have
get
enough
them
money
through.
to keep
And
it
they have
coming
enough.
in.
So yeah, they have enough money so they can do it in the privacy of their home. They know just what to do on vacation or whatever. They do what they want, but they know just what they need to do to get it through the day. But I just want to let you know, you're still an addict. You're still an addict. You're no better than anyone else. You're still an addict.
You probably have enough of this stuff so that you don't have to worry about suffering withdrawals.
And then I'm gonna ask you something, because we're gonna go deep. We're gonna go deep.
Yeah.
So Jerica was clean for 2 years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. So, and I remember I was at the service and she had gotten a medal. She had gotten
2 years. Yeah.
2 years. So we congratulated her on that. But something can happen in your life that can rock you back on many different levels. It can be this, I'm going to presume, was the loss of a father. I lost my dad. His birthday was June the 13th and he died June the 16th, which was the day before Father's Day. That can rock anyone's world. So people are dealing with the loss of a child, the loss of a spouse, the loss of a mother, a father, a brother, a sister. People deal with different things in different ways. But when you have someone that goes back, I don't think, so this is what I know, and you can, you always correct me, so I'm not, there's no need for me to, Cliff, you know how I would say, if you can correct me, she will correct me, so I don't need to say that.
Oh, so to stand back when you say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and correct me.
Yeah, I always say that. So most people don't understand, when individuals are clean for a certain amount of time, when they regress and they decide, okay, you know what, I just want a little bit of it. What they do is they go back to where they left off. Their body has been clean for so long. And if you were taking, let's say, I'm going to just say ounces, grams. If you were taking 5 grams when you finished, and for the last 2 years, when you go back, individuals start off where they left off. And that is where the problem comes in.
I mean, that's definitely true. A lot of people, when they relapse, their body can't handle tolerate it.
I mean, how they were doing before.
Right. Not to mention the fact that, fentanyl, right, is, I mean, it's a whole, it's changed the game. Yeah. I mean,
someone asks, what is fentanyl?
Basically, fentanyl is a synthetic drug. So it's, manufactured. Oh, go ahead.
There's been word about a bad batch of it hitting the streets.
Well, most opioids, people don't understand, are synthetic.
Right.
Most opioids in the death are synthetic. So.
Yeah, and so that's the difference between, other drugs that may grow naturally, and then obviously they're altered and that type of thing. And so, but literally a sprinkle, like less than a sprinkle, a speck of fentanyl can kill somebody, right? And so, and people, like, I would bet you money, that people don't know. And even the cops, they'll tell you it's, quote, dirty heroin. I mean, there's no such thing as clean heroin.
No.
But I mean, most addicts don't buy heroin, expecting it to have fentanyl.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I mean, and honestly, yeah, when you buy drugs off the street, do you know what you're getting?
You know what you're
You
getting.
have
So,
no idea what you're getting.
So for some people, because we have some people that live in an ivory tower. So let us explain what we just mean. When some people buy drugs, when some people are thinking they're getting opioids, fentanyl as a synthetic substance is cut into it so that whoever is selling it can make more money. It will go ahead if he has a pound, it will just make his pound into 2 pounds. It will make it more. You get a high. You get a different high, and that makes them come back because now it's more addictive.
It's a stronger high.
It's a stronger high. That means you want it more, but it is also a chemical of death.
Right.
Basically, that's what it is. So if someone was just wondering, well, why would they? What it is, they mix fentanyl in of whatever they have, so they can go ahead and they can distribute more. They can have you coming back for more. So someone actually is making money to kill you. That's
right.
basically
it's like, people that, sell and distribute cocaine, right?
They cut it.
They cut it with baby powder, with laxatives, so it can go further, right? And I think it's just the other piece of it is, and like I said, there's no shame, no shame for someone who's an addict or an alcoholic. I mean, my grandfather passed away from alcoholism. My 2 uncles did. Like addiction, and alcoholism runs in my family, right? And so one of the things, that I want to share is that most times we are dealing and managing the addiction that we don't see or treat any underlying causes, right?
What caused you?
Of the root cause, right? And so my sister struggled with depression, right? And so did we manage or treat the depression? And by we, I mean just in general, right? At some level, yes, but did we ever get to the root cause? No. And I think so many times it's about the addiction because you can't treat any other underlying issues, mental health issues, without treating the addiction first. But I mean, I'm so just heartbroken because most times we don't get the chance
to find out.
To figure out, like, is it depression?
Why?
Is it anxiety? Was there trauma as a child? Is it bipolar? Is it whatever it is?
Okay, I want you to hold that thought. So our question is why? Why do some people get to this point? Why are we still suffering? Why are so many families still grieving? Why are we as a community not taking this serious enough and getting off our butt and our tuchus and demanding that individuals in our county, individuals that we have put in places for them to say, you know what, enough is enough. So what is enough? We're going to take a break and we're going to ask that question. What is enough? Does it have to be your child? Does it have to be your sister? Does it have to be your brother, your mother to go ahead and die for you to lose them, for you to want to get involved now? So that's what we're going to ask. What is it going to take for you as a community to get involved? This is Roxy with Careology. We will be right back with our guest, Alex. Thinking of building your next home or renovating? Come see us at Grozer Builders. We will create a home suited for your lifestyle. With years of experience means we give you a complete professional service from a dream to a concept. You will get the best results, best value, best quality is what you get from Grozer Builders. Visit us at grozerbuilders.com. You deserve better. You deserve Grozer. If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Welcome back to Careology. Once again, here's your host, Roxy.
Welcome back. Welcome back. If you are just tuning in with us here on WPSL 1590, my name is Roxy. I am the CEO and founder of CareBag Incorporated, and Careology is a subsidiary of this great nonprofit here on the Treasure Coast. And we're just going to get right back into our program. We have Alex here, and she is one of our board members, and she is awesome, not only for CareBag as a board member, but she is in the community. She is the owner of Speed Pro Imaging here. You can Google them. If you have a business and you're looking to promote your business in marketing, they can get it done, and it's going to look good, and it's going to be right. And she not only helps CareBag, she helps other nonprofits and very involved in a community. And not only is she my board member, she's a friend and love her family. And this is a personal conversation. So we want to thank her, and we want to respect her in that aspect of bearing her story, because not everybody can. A lot of us have stories and we're afraid to share it. We're afraid to talk about it, but this is going to help someone, Alex. So before we get off here, I just want to say thank you for putting your soul out there, because this is live. We don't know who's listening. We don't know. I know we have people all over the world, but if this is touching someone, if you have a family member or friend that is in need, dial 211. If you're in England, we know there's an NHS system. You're in Canada, there's the NHS system. It's much easier to get access to help. But if you're here in the United States, 211 is national, and 211 is in Canada also. So you can get help. You can have someone come to your home tonight if you needed someone. Do not delay in this process, because I asked the question, what is it going to take? Is it going to take you having to go through what Alex and her family went through to go ahead and say, oh my goodness, what if? Let's stop asking the question, what if and why? Because that's it.
And here's the thing. So we had dinner. My mother, my nephew Grayson, who
I saw the photo at the restaurant.
My sister Jerica, myself, a few of our friends. We had dinner New Year's Eve at a restaurant that my parents, went to every year to ring in the new year. And I never expected that to be the last time I was going to see or talk to my sister, right? And
it's okay, Mama.
No, I know. Here's what rips my heart out is it's preventable.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it is preventable. And when I think about the fact that it is preventable, meaning we can prevent it from happening, meaning it is unnecessary.
Makes you angry.
Right? Well, considering all of the measures we are taking today, we've taken the last year, right, to prevent the spread of COVID, right? Which is real, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're giving vaccines, we are wearing masks, we are doing everything we can because people know about it, right? They understand the impacts, they understand the dangers, right? And we're talking about something that is completely preventable. People dying from drug overdose, from alcohol addiction, and we as a whole, as a society, what are we doing about it? I mean,
what are we doing? That is the number one question. We have so many people, we have so many groups, but at the end of the day, I think people need to stop being ashamed. It has such a bad stigma. There's nothing wrong with you saying, you know what, I got a problem. In certain communities, especially the Caribbean community, we are very secretive. We don't want anyone to know. It's a hush hush thing. Some family members don't even know. It's that quiet. But what happens is when the tragic happens, now everybody knows.
Well, we all have issues. I mean, we all do.
Yeah.
And they may be different,
but they're issues.
But and that's okay. But that's where the power is in the community, right? It's in helping each other. You know what? I have my baggage. I have my issues, and if it helps someone else so they don't have to go through what I went through, then so be it. Let me help that other person.
That's the science of caring. That you're just falling right into it, the science of caring.
It's a good thing. I'm a board member.
That's it. That's what we want it to be about. We when this happened and I thought about it and I talked to Alex, I said, only if you're ready. This has been May now, so we're going 5 months in, and yeah, 5 months, and I couldn't do it. There's no way I can sit here and do it. So the fact that Alex is here and her family is here, because her families, a lot of them are online, and we thank you for being there. This is a family that has wanted to share the story so that other families don't have to go through that. So we want you to pay attention. So my question is to you, if you are suffering, if you know someone, what can you do? Get help.
Yeah, get help. I mean, first of all, I want everybody hearing, if you share this, please share this, but I want everybody listening to know, doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you've done, but like, you are not alone. Like, you are here for a purpose. You are here for a God-given purpose, whether you believe in God or not, I don't care. And
it's my show. You can talk about it, honey.
no, I'm talking about them. I'm talking about if whatever, you are here for a reason. And it doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Like, you are here and you are loved. And
you're important.
And there is hope. Like, you matter. You matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else has ever told you. You matter. And so, and I can tell you, life's tough.
Oh, yeah.
When I think about the last 4 or 5 months of my life, man, literally last week, Wednesday, was the first time in my entire life that I felt like, dude, I don't know that I can keep doing this. I'm tired. I am tired. I don't have the energy. I know I have a purpose, but shoot, if someone else does it, that's okay.
That's okay.
Right? Someone else can do it, because I don't want to keep doing this anymore, because it's so hard.
It's so hard.
And I'm thankful that I have a great church in Christ Fellowship, that I have a great group of sisters. I have a great family. And they had to help me remember that I matter. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't see it anymore. And I share that because, and you know me, I am not a woe is me. I don't want a pity party.
No.
I don't like to talk about feelings. I don't even like having feelings, right?
Honey, you have to have feelings.
I know, it's the human condition. But for anybody, whether it's anxiety, depression, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's whatever it is, there's help. There's hope. There's people that can help. There's people that care. I don't even know you, but we care about you. We care about you. Roxy cares about you, even though she doesn't know you, even though she can be a little crazy. She still cares.
They don't know I'm crazy. Don't let that
now
out.
They know.
Don't let it out the bag.
But that's the fun part.
Well, this is it. Where Alex. Thank you, but this is where it's amazing how time flies by. Oh my goodness, it's time. We're almost have to go, but I'm gonna end this note. I usually end this note talking about other things, but I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna end this note on what Catalina has said, and Catalina is Alex's sister. She says, yes, addiction destroys individuals and families. It's no way that one can be addicted and function properly. Their priorities change and nothing matters but the things you are addicted to. So even though we're suffering that we have gone, even though the suffering that we have gone through, losing our sister shows how addiction destroys more than the addict's life. And we're going to leave with that. I want to read that part again. Addiction destroys more than the addict's life. My name is Roxy, and this is Careology, the Science of Caring. And if you are suffering with addiction, we are here to help. Please dial 211, and you can get the resources and you can get the help. They are there for you, and it is at no cost. Again, my name is Roxy. This is Careology, the Science of Caring. And we want to leave a word with Catalina that says, addiction destroys more than the addict's life. And we don't want your life and we don't want your family to go through what other families are experiencing. Alex, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure, Mama. She's going to get a hug. And bye-bye, everyone. We are going to see you next week. We got an awesome show clip next week. You got to come back to hear it, okay?
And this is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.